A good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, help promote and rank up my channel. And oh god, there's period blood in my chin. Ginger, you bitch. Alright, so Ginger Snaps is an awesome horror film with werewolf as a metaphor for puberty from the female perspective, told in a dark, fascinating way with two interesting characters that have pretty intense, likable personalities. Now, apparently they want to make this into a TV show. The movie, the first one, as it sets, that one alone is good enough for me. That gives me enough of that story. I mean, there are certain things that come out and they're like, all right, that's good. That's the best it's going to get. Because they did do two more films. I didn't think those were as good as the first one. They were likable to an extent, to a degree. But it does kind of feel like just unnecessary. So, Ginger Snaps, they want to make it into a TV series. I want to know people's thoughts and opinions on that, because I think Ginger Snaps is an excellent movie that stands the test of time. It is one of those great horror films that were a hidden gem, very under the radar. As far as I know, it doesn't have some mass following or anything, but they're gonna do this, make it into a TV show, and that's really curious because today's culture, today's climate, has a little too much identity politics, a little too in your face, a little too transparent, a little too on the nose. It doesn't do the best job at weaving things together through metaphor and stuff like that. They don't do the best storytelling. And if these people have fallen into that Twitter echo chamber that Hollywood celebrities and big corporations tend to cater to, this very small minority on Twitter that's very woke and in your face, and this could be really bad. Also, at the same time, without Catherine Isabel and Emily Perkins playing these characters, I'm wondering how well it's gonna go, because it's a bit hard to see anybody else playing these characters. They did a great job. I'm curious if they would reprise their, well, not reprise their roles, but more like make cameos or play some of the older adults in this TV series. And I'm curious, and throughout this whole thing, it just talks about, it's got, people from the original trilogy, the producers of the original Ginger Snaps trilogy of cult horror films. It's got them on board. It's got quite a few different people on board. Everybody seems to really love what's there. They love and respect what was done. They thought it was brilliant. They thought, and so that stuff, gives positive vibes. They seem really passionate about the project, as they're talking about it. But they also do say some things that are very concerning. And like I said, it doesn't say anything in here about what kind of length, how long would the episodes be, how many episodes would we get, how many seasons do they intend to make, because you don't want to drag this out for too long with too much filler and fluff material. You don't want to have it getting all CW soap opera-esque where they're talking about their feelings too much, and it feels very out of character of what would have been the original Ginger and Bridget. You don't want them just having a lot of fluff, having a lot of filler, having excuses to pad this out and drag it out. And how long could it really last, with the fact that there's a certain point of no return when it comes to the werewolf transformation for Ginger? If you're not familiar, she gets her period and gets attacked by a werewolf, and then starts showing all this sexuality and violent behavior that is really hard for her sister, since they're so well bonded and they're in this together. I think the line was, it was something about together by 16 are out of the scene. Like, they had this kind of suicide pact. If they couldn't get out, they would off themselves. So, anyways, they had a fascination with death and all that, and it was just really interesting stuff. So here's the part that concerns me, because like I said, the werewolf thing is a metaphor, and for puberty and Ginger getting her period and all this new behavior, all this transitional behavior, all this stuff you got to adjust to when. So all that stuff's a metaphor, but for some reason right here they said it could be more socially relevant in this day and age to launch a television series about Ginger Snaps. How would it be more socially relevant? Because people are always going through puberty. It's no more relevant today than it was then. That just leads me into believing that'll kind of get into the identity politics aspect, where it's just you kind of blunt and in your face, dumb, watered down storytelling, where it's just all about the gender and stuff like that, where the characters don't have much depth or substance to them. So if they could do it like the original Ginger, I'm all for it, because that thing was so well executed. Like, just very interesting. That movie is awesome. If I'm not sure where it was set. I don't have like a written down list of favorite horror movies or whatever, but this one is up there in terms of what it was able to do. The music, the settings, the scenes. I really like what they were able to do with a low budget. So that's cool. That's interesting. And it talks a little bit more about, this is the person from Orphan Black. So fans of Orphan Black, if you're at all familiar with that series, I'm not. I haven't heard much about it. I do. Hey, it's supposed to be really good, but is it like woke? Is it like in your face? I don't know. It's really hard to watch anything that isn't that way anymore, where it's just really blunt and in your face, like transparent preaching. So they talk a little bit about whoever this Anna, last name I cannot pronounce for the life of me. Oh, Anna is the perfect writer to help bring our edgy girl power horror story to a small screen. So they're just, I'm all on board with it, but like I said, I'll check it out, but do we really need this? Does anybody want this? I'm very curious. Fans of Ginger, do you want to see a Ginger Snaps TV series? Do you think it could be great, or do you think it's going to be full of a bunch of padding, a bunch of emotional filler fluff, and just drug out? That it's not going to be anything close to what it was, considering that they're talking about it could be, it's more relevant today. Like, how would it be more relevant today unless you're talking about that kind of woke culture type stuff instead of just a traditional story where you're actually doing a damn good job. They did a damn good job of like, telling this kind of story and making it very interesting with interesting characters and stuff. Like, if you could make that kind of story, if you can make some kind of social commentary type story or something that is relatable to people, and you can do it in a way that's very entertaining with awesome characters like this movie did, then go for it. But if you don't have that ability, just leave it alone. So what do you think of Ginger Snaps? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Then they're going to write this thing that's not set in stone, but they're all down for it. They're all game for it. They're very into it, so I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure this is just a done deal that's going to go forward, and it's going to come out. And whenever the hell it does, who knows when that will be, but I definitely will try to get into it and review it and draw comparisons to how it stands against the original movie or the original trilogy. Anyways, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. It's quite a surprise for me. I didn't expect anything like this ever. Ginger Snaps TV series. That with the recent announcement that Dexter was coming back. Those are both very surprising things for me in the horror category. And it's just awesome. That's some awesome news. This one's got the potential to be really awesome. but it all comes down to the execution, and that is an eyebrow-raising thing. They're saying it could be more socially relevant because it was about puberty, and that's as relevant as it's gonna get. It's always gonna be as relevant as it is as. So, anyways, comment down below. Stay awesome. Rock on.